Hey everybody, One of Wisdom here. It is 5:20 a.m. and for some reason I am up recording videos. Don't really know why, but I am. I've got Dark Slobbertooth's Seismic Tail currently rendering right now. I'm hoping that doesn't impact things, make me drop frames here. If it does, I have a backup plan because there's two more characters. What I'm going to do here, you can't actually see her. I guess she's covered up by the pause menu section. But I'm going to attempt to record and document base upgrades for Star Strike. Kind of doing this out of order mainly because my nephew was really interested in her. She was basically in beast mode in our Star Strike versus the world. And it has both of us curious as to how she actually upgrades. Now, I've said it many times, but at E3, when I spoke to the guys from Vicarious Visions, they were very, very proud of Star Strike. You know, speaking to them at dinner and everything, kind of got the vibe, that they were kind of into, space, kind of fond of that type of stuff, so it kind of makes sense there. And of course, her background story, she defeated Chaos, kind of has a lot of elements that you can kind of see just from speaking to him real briefly. That said, I have come in here again, I'm documenting this live as we speak into my spreadsheet, and she is going to be an absolute pain to fully document, and it's going to be a really big spreadsheet, but we're gonna try to make the best of it. Luckily, I've gone through here, I've kind of documented everything I can. Again, to fully upgrade with all of your discounts, you're gonna need 9,088 for a new lander. Now, with Star Strike, her primary attack is called Stargate. What that one is, it's basically just, you've launched a little orb, if you will. You see it was, as it passed through the dummy, it was 35. When it returned, it was 44. Now, on the critical side of things, you can have it pass through the dummy at 53, and then it can return at a 66. This stuff, she can fire it off quicker, so it's with a little better regularity than sometimes. Now, check out that sheep, though. When we hit him, his wool actually turns from white to yellow to blue to purple. That's something pretty cool there. I've never actually noticed that before, so pretty neat there. But again, 35 to 53 and 44 to 66. Now, if you rapid tap it, you'll start seeing some 11s and 17s as you saw there. There was one of these 60 numbers. 11 to 17 on the rapid tap, but then you think, okay, wait, she can reflect that, right? That's correct, so she has Cosmic Twirl. Now, if you're not shooting a projectile, you can just do Cosmic Twirl. It's going to do 10 to 15 damage. You just press it one time, and she fires off 2 hits. So essentially, you'd see 10 and 10. If you had 2 criticals, it'd be 15-15. But all of this is complicated because whenever you fire it off, you can reflect it. And you're going to see the 53, the 61. Now, if we see a critical hit tied in with the 61, it's actually going to be a 92. I don't know how many times I have to reflect this for you to see that. When it changes directions, it's really odd. There was the 92 finally, so I'm stopping there. I spent a lot of time prior to this just making sure things maxed out there. Never saw anything higher than the 61 and 92. So long and drug out. I mean, her Stargate attack literally has 35 to 53, 44 to 66, 11 to 17 rapid tap, and then 61 to 92. So basically 4 sets of numbers on one attack, and that's crazy. What we're going to do now is actually purchase her base upgrades, and then we'll attempt to document all this crazy stuff. So she begins, again, bear in mind I've got the 18 Wing Sapphires, 36% discount. 320 is the price for Starfall. I have wanted to see what this is like for a long time. Press X to cause stars to fall and damage nearby enemies. And then, of course, we're not done there. Press A to deflect the stars at enemies that are further away. So we're going to have to do a lot of documenting here. Let's go ahead and pick this up. I think we're going to have to take her one at a time. It's not like simple and short like Slobbertooth. Gorm's in our way there. Let's go ahead and just look at it from here.
Rise and shine.
Huh. That's kind of cool. Now let me try to count that. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So 8 hits there. Now let's see what it does to a dummy. So 12 to 18. 8 times. I'm going to go ahead and type that into the spreadsheet. 12 to 18. 8 times, and then I have to put a comma because apparently we can reflect that. So let's step back over here. I'm gonna hit the tertiary. Okay, so that's actually not as bad as I thought. Note that I can just let these fall here, or I can actually shoot them off, and it's gonna give her like a long-range projectile. So standing here, you can see that her little, Stargate is just kind of like coming up short of our target. So if I tertiary attack and deflect it, all of a sudden she's got range and I can fire off all 8 of them. They all were fired off, so I just went towards the other dummy. So 12 to 18 times good range. With good range, we'll put. So that one wasn't too bad. Now, that said, Starfield's Starfall, not quite what I thought it was going to look like. We'll come in now, we're going to get Star-Filled Sky. Interesting note here, the strategy guide does not have the hyphen, and the game does, if anyone cares about that sort of a thing, which you probably don't, but it's 5:30 in the morning, and I noticed it, so I'm going to talk about it. That said, $4.48 is the price. Press X to cause even more stars to fall and damage nearby enemies. Now, it doesn't say anything about doing increased damage, it just says more stars. So let's buy it and find out what they mean by that. Alright, we'll back out of here. You have to admit she's a really cool looking character. Let's just stand here and press X, take it all in.
The stars.
I got 15 that time. Now let's come over here, make sure we're still going to be in the 12 to 18. 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. Yeah, so 12 to 18. 15 times. Now, I'm assuming it should do the same damage when we reflect it. We'll stand here. And we just need it, yeah. So 12 to 18. So literally all it does is just, instead of dropping 8, you drop 15 of them. And then you can either use that for enemies right nearby you if you don't deflect it, or you can deflect it and take enemies out from a distance. So this is so far going way more efficient than I thought it would. Let's come in here. Alright, third purchased upgrade on the base side of things is Your Biggest Fan. Price $5.76. Press A to spin and reflect projectiles. We can already do that. Spin radius is now increased, making it more likely to deflect projectiles and power up the star. I don't know that this is going to do more damage either. I think it's just going to be like a bigger radius, which I don't have any problem working with her as is. If you recall, when I introduced her, I took care of her personal quest. It's it's really more timing, I think, than the radius. But let's just spin her here. Yeah, that's a big radius, and that's probably going to make things way easier. If you recall, she was doing 10 to 15, 18 now. So let's see if we get a critical number. 18 to 27. So Your Biggest Fan is going to be 18 to 27 2 times. So that's a plus, what, 8 and 12 from Cosmic Turtle. Now the question becomes, if we fire this off, 53, so we're up to 61, so no increase there. We did see the 92 fairly quickly. Now let's try her tertiary attack. Still going to be 12 to 18, so not too shabby. Now, what was cool there on Your Biggest Fan, spin and reflect projectile spin radius is increased, making it more likely to deflect projectiles and power up the star. None of that stuff was increased, but the actual damage from the increased radius was there, which I didn't think it would be, and I can't argue with that. I figured it'd stay the 10 to 15, and it went up. So we'll come in here. Her final base upgrade is what they're calling Star Power. Price $768. Press Y rapidly to shoot star shards at enemies that do increased damage. Now, if you just press Y once, we were doing 35 to 53 on the initial hit, and then when it came back, basically 35 to 44, and then the returns were 53 to 66, you know, if you will. I'm sorry, 35 to 44. Yeah, 53, that's right. I'm tired. But the thing is, when we were rapid tap, 61 to 92, if you got like a really high number after it had been sent back a few times. That said, 11 to 17 is what I had when I rapid tapped it. This says press Y rapidly to shoot shards at enemies that do increased damage. Let's buy that and see what happens. I'll take you through it step by step here. We'll try to replicate all four. Now right here you get to a point you have to pick a path. You don't have to pick it yet. If you don't know which one you want to do, you need to research it. Press the B button, back out. Star Strike is a new lander. If you select Stargazer, you're stuck with that unless you reset your character. Obviously, if you've used Star Strike, you have a bunch of the quests done. Maybe you got her to level 20 because you really liked her, played her a lot in story mode. Not desirable to reset the character. The money to get the upgrades not really an issue. It's just the fact if you have a lot of time invested in the other elements. The good news with Star Strike, you've got Light Core Star Strike. If you're not a fan of Light Core characters, you have Enchanted Star Strike, which granted that's Enchanted Light Core Star Strike, but still it's kind of different, you know. So you know, hopefully you have the two and you can do that. I think Star Strike is very well received, so I don't think many people would have problems picking up a second figure to take the other path. But take my link at the top of the video description box. You'll go to a post dedicated solely to Star Strike. You'll see your base upgrade videos, you'll see Stargazer, you'll see Cosmic Reflector, and you'll see probably a full run through with Enchanted Light Core Star Strike. And in addition to that, you'll see my handy dandy spreadsheet here, which documents each and every upgrade with damage numbers, even when it's meticulously painful and tedious like it was with Stargate. That said, Star Power here, we're going to come in, I'll just do it one time here. 35 to 44, that's pretty much standard. Again, if we had critical, 53 to 66. When we deflect it, 53, there's our 61, there's our 92, so that went well. Now, when we rapid tapped prior to this, it was 11 to 17. Let's see what we have now. 14. The 44 is on the return. 21. So 14 to 21. We'll go ahead and call that. Now, if I rapid tap and then try to deflect it, let's see what happens. Was that an 18 and 27? Let me get back to the rapid fire. There's our 14, 18. And 21. It's really hard for me to even know what to document here. I'm seeing the 18 and the 27. So what I'm going to do, I'll have a 14 to 21 there, and then 18 to 27. Not quite sure how that ties in, but it's there, so I'm documenting it. Hopefully you'll see this and you'll kind of know what I was, you know, seeing, and you can make your own assessments from it. That said, we haven't dropped any frames yet. I was thinking we might with the rendering of Seismic Tail going on. That said, that is Star Strike with her base upgrades. Pretty dadgum impressive, you have to admit. What we have now, obviously I'm not going to do it just yet, but I'll take Star Strike down a path, I'll take Light Core Star Strike down a path, and then I'll take Enchanted down whichever path I preferred. I should probably flip that and do Enchanted and Light Core, and then take this regular Star Strike down the best path, but I'll probably risk it. Cosmic Reflector, it looks like we are just basically upgrading her, you know, actually, she's got armor in there, which would be my default pick. Initially, I had thought Starfall was going to be really. If you look at the like upgrade picture, Starfall looks really awesome, and it's pretty cool. It's just not what I thought. I thought it looked like a meteor shower type thing, you know, and it's just like one at a time. I think I'm going to take Star Strike, standard Star Strike as seen in this video, down Cosmic Reflector, because she has armor in there. Plus, if you deflect 4 times, you go. So I think that's probably the best choice for the way I play the game with her. Stargazer is going to be interesting. I don't know. None of that really matters in this video. I'm just really tired and kind of rambling on. But nonetheless, this is a pretty cool lady here. Again, they made a point. Covered this at E3, you know, way back last year, almost a year ago now. But they made a point, you know, to get more female characters into the game. That's why you see Star Strike, you see Smolder Dash, you see Roller Brawl, Scratch, Punk Shock. And they definitely got some hard-hitting ladies here. So Star Strike, very cool, great background story, absolute beast in certain PvPs, it basically against anyone with a projectile. Now, if you go in close quarters, you know, like with someone like Terrafin and Slam Bam that doesn't have a projectile, like a Camo or Spyro does, she's not quite as dangerous. But if you have a character that like relies on a projectile to damage and, you know, compete, she is a machine. So bear that in mind. I mean, you've got that aspect where she's overly powered and beastly, but at the same time, if you come in with a different sort of character, you can kind of offset her strengths. That said, I'm excited to see both paths here. I think my nephew will be stoked. I'll probably have her fully upgraded, so all 3 of them, before he's back over here to play this weekend. So we'll see how that goes. That said, it's 5:40ish, and I should probably go to bed, so I think I'll do that. As always, thanks for watching. Make sure you're subscribed. That'll keep you up with all the latest. You can follow me on Twitter, like me on Facebook, circle me on Google+, whichever you prefer. Again, thanks for watching, and I will catch you back here as we continue upgrading Miss Star Strike.